On November 17th, 1995, Swedish black metal band Dissection released their second album, Storm of the Lightsbane, under the Nuclear Blast label. The fourth track, titled Where Dead Angels Lie, is one worthy of note for tonight's video. It's a song so good the band would release an EP the following year with the same title that features a demo version of the song. Now, why am I making light of the song for this video? Well, what if I told you that the lyrics to this song bear a very incredible resemblance to that of the Snowgrave route from Deltarune? In short, what if I told you that this theory is the theory that because of the lyrics to this song, the Snowgrave route will end with Noelle's death and the roaring? You'd probably say I'm full of baloney, since the song was made 23 years before Deltarune's release, and Toby probably doesn't listen to extreme metal enough to build a whole route in his game based on one song. But still, these lyrics are so similar, it's pretty uncanny. With that, we shall take a look at the lyrics, and try to tie them back to Deltarune and the Weird Route, without doing any big stretches. I won't be like, oh, the word "the" appears in the lyrics, and it does in the game as well. That's too damn far. Now, with all that said and done, let us begin our lyrical dissection. Yeah, see what I did there? In the dawn, an angel was dancing, surrounded by an aura of light. But in the shadow, something was watching, and with patience awaiting the night. Surrounded by an aura of light, Noelle is portrayed as an angel, and the angel is something that has an aura of light to it. At least the soul does, as we see in chapter 4. With the lines about something watching in the shadows and awaiting the night, one could argue that this could be about the soul. Not necessarily watching from the shadows, but definitely awaiting the night, which could be tied to waiting for the dark world to form, or waiting for the never-ending night. Mournful night, attractive night, your dark beauty obsesses me. An angel bewitched by the shadows, seduced by the whispering lies. If you see the quote as coming from Noelle, you could imagine this line being something she would say in the chapter 2 scene as she looks out to the moon. The mournful night being the memories of deaths that Noelle has, and the attractive night being the more positive elements that Noelle experiences, such as being in the big city and being able to spend time with Susie. Being bewitched by the shadows and seduced by the whispering lies could tie into the facts that Noelle is obviously pretty fascinated with the dark world, but she was also lied to about the true nature of where she was, and Susie tells her that it was all just a dream. In terms of the Snowgrave route specifically, the whispering lies could also tie into Chris, as she believes she is spending time with her old friend, and not her old friend who is under the control of the soul. A spell was cast, and the sky turned red. The angel's heart froze to ice. The blackness that falls is coming to stay. Under the snow lies angels so cold. Need I say more? This single chorus here should pretty much immediately remind any Deltarune player of the Snowgrave route. Although the sky doesn't turn red in the route, a spell is definitely cast, and the angel's heart freezing the ice could also tie into how Noelle acts after casting the spell. The blackness that falls and stays sounds similar to the roaring, where darkness envelops the world completely. Although there aren't multiple angels in Deltarune, at least as of now, the last line could almost imply a fatal fate for Noelle, does it not? Perhaps we shall see. Dusk has passed and a cold morning breeze is sweeping all over the plain. On the ground lies an angel with skin so pale, on her face an image of pain. Snow is now falling to the frozen ground. The angel is covered by white. Frost is spreading across the plain to welcome the eternal night. I feel like with these lines, there isn't much to tie to the game, apart from the last line, as welcoming the eternal night sounds pretty similar to the never-ending night, which could again tie back to the roaring. With the rest of the lyrics, perhaps we could infer that Noelle will be killed by the very forces of ice and snow that she can control. The dress is white with crystals of ice, and frozen roses so red. Roses of blood from an innocent soul. On the plain lies an angel dead. Although the wilting rose animation was removed from the final game, there's still that imagery that can be connected. The last line pretty much sums up what I think will happen to Noelle in the Weird Route. Remember the Sword Route minigame? How the Ice Mage character gets used up? Well, I think that Noelle will potentially die in the Weird Route. How so? Well, if we went off the song, in the game to an extent, perhaps the elements of ice and snow, like stated previously, will tie into her demise. I'll skip the second chorus since it's similar to the first, but there are added lyrics, so if you want to see it for yourself, a link will be down below. We see what happens to Darkners and Birdly whenever Noelle uses her powers against them. Well, they turn into presumably lifeless statues. Die? Well, the whole thing about the Weird Route is killing, so that makes sense. Okay, I know that's a silly stretch, but I still wanted to mention it. The blackness that falls is coming to stay. Under the snow lies angels so cold. Yet with each crystal of frost that is falling, another story is told. A spell was cast and the sky turned red. The angel's heart froze to ice. In the gloomy sky, the silence, where dead angels lie. With the closing lyrics to the song, I wanted to point out the second and third lines. I feel like the way it could tie to Deltarune is this. With each darkener frozen, and with Birdly, Noelle becomes encased in a crystal of frost. A different story in Deltarune is told, one that deviates away from the original story, and tells one that is darker, yet darker. Well, boys and girls, that is the Where Dead Angels Lie theory. Okay, I'll cut the shit. I know that this is all purely coincidental. Black metal bands do love their ice, snow, and death, and hell, and shit like that. And I'm sure if you found another story that involved those things, you could tie it back to the song. At the end of the day, I am presenting this theory more as a joke. The silly joke being that we know about how the Snowgrave route will end because a 30-year-old song that Toby has never heard of before tells us. Now, if you've seen my one and only previous video about my Delta theories, then you would know that I actually discussed this theory, but not as in-depth as I did here. Well, thanks for actually listening to my stupid ironic theory. Tell me in the comments down below what you think. Agree? Disagree? Don't give a damn? I want to know. Thanks for watching. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to seeking the treasure. That's not it. I'm gonna find this fucking treasure someday. I just don't know where it's at, though. Where the hell am I? Fuck. It's nothing but desert for miles. Oh shit. What's that, moss? Chris will be happy. I'm never finding it, am I? No, I'm not. But what's up there? I wonder. Bro, I made it so far out, I found that thing from that one Fallout New Vegas ARG. Holy shit.